Okay, welcome to part C. We're on page 9 of the Introduction to Photoshop handout. Now we are going to use a brush. Now we have been using little round brushes on these layer masks. So we're kind of becoming experts on brushes, but what we have not learned is how to use any brush other than the circle brush. So if we go up to the top at the drop down for the brush size, we can change the size and the hardness as we've talked before, but down lower than that we can also go into folders and locate brushes. And your basic brush is in your general brush, your soft round and your hard round. That's what you use most frequently. However, you can also add additional brushes. Now one thing about brushes is they do not make their own layers, so everything we've done up to this point has been on its own layer. If we start to brush right now, it will try to brush on the girl. We need to make a layer so that it's on its own layer. So down in the bottom of that layers panel, way down at the bottom, there's a little plus sign there, and that plus sign next to the trash can indicates new layer. Let's go ahead and click on that new layer button. And then to name the layer, you're just going to point to it where it says layer 1 and double click. We're going to call it dots and press enter. All right, now we're going to want these dots to be behind the girl. And behind the picture. So we're going to just drag and drop in the layer stack to change the order. So I'm just pulling down and dropping it so it's the third layer. Okay, drag it down. All right, now to make this one special, we're going to load up a brush. And that was one of those documents in the files that you downloaded, the halftone brushes. Notice it's an ABR extension. That's what brush extensions are. You can download lots of free brushes online. It's super cool. But they are ABR files. In order to load a brush, you're going to go up like you're changing the size of your brush, right? And then to the right of the word size is a gear. This little gear icon is how we get to the drop down that we need. And we're going to go to import brushes. So you don't open the brush, you import the brush, and that's going to add it to your folders of brushes. So I'm going to click on import brushes. I'm going to go down to my desktop and find my folder, and there it is. I'm going to hit load. So now it's loaded the brush. If I grab a hold of the edges here, you'll see I now have one called halftone brushes, and I open it up by clicking on the button there, and then you can see it has several. Now these are very big brushes, so just letting you know, very big. I'm just going to come and click on one to show you. I'm going to go down here to number, 13. If I point my mouse here, nothing shows up. It's actually showing almost a cursor, like a cross. But if we look up here, it tells me it's 2,500. So two things. Your mouse brush will show as a plus sign if, 1, your caps lock is on, or 2, the brush is too big. So I'm going to press my left bracket until the brush starts showing up. See, I'm at about 1,800 now, and I can see the brush. So you can see what this brush looks like. It's got a lot of business going on here, right? If I were to click right now, I would stamp it on there, but my black is on, right? So that's what would happen, which, I mean, it's kind of neat, but not exactly what we're looking for. So I'm going to undo. But that's how you use these brushes. So when you load brushes, we're using them less as a brush and more as a stamp, which is really cool. Okay, so I'm going to go back up to the size. What we're going to do is we're going to use halftone brush number 8. So find halftone 8. It's kind of got a neat little pattern that's going to work. Now, again, your brush is too big, so press your left bracket until you get it down to about 1,400. I think that's what I used. And now what we want to do is we kind of want to line up this edge here so that we've got the lines like they're following the flow of the girl kind of over there. Okay, now we do want to make sure this is white. And you can come over here and set your colors and put it on top or whatever. Because this brush is big, it's kind of annoying. So you can press the letter D, which sets your default colors, and X, which switches your colors. So D makes it black and white, X puts white on top or black on top. So I've switched X, so mine is white. And now I'm going to just give it one click, bam. And then I'm going to switch my brush back because it's going to get on my nerves. I'm just going to pick a hard brush and make it little. All right, so there we go. Now we have stamped on these dots. And it looks pretty neat. It's a pretty cool effect. It's a halftone effect, right? But it's a little too strong for this. So let's pull the opacity down so that it's see-through. So up in your layers panel, top right, it says opacity. Pull that down to whatever you like. I went with around 30%. Thought it looked kind of nice, but totally up to you. So it kind of fades into the background. We've kind of got that going on. That gets you to the bottom of page 9. That's really all you have to do there. But page 10, I give you kind of an optional bonus. So I'll demonstrate the optional bonus. I'll just make another layer real quick and do this one. So I'll call it Dots Bonus on this layer. And I'll go back and grab my Halftone 8 brush. Size that down again. All right, but let's say I want to do just by the girl. Okay, so I could come over here and go ahead and stamp it down by the girl. All right, like so. But I can then add a layer mask. And then I can go back to my regular brush, my regular soft brush, and I can paint out, remember, black hides, so black on top. I can paint out all the rest of this. And the bigger the brush, the better when you're hitting these edges. So notice I'm just sort of, I'm not even touching it. I'm like above it, kind of coming in on it a little bit, but I'm not like rolling over it. There we go. So then you've kind of got just the dots coming from the girl. So you've got two options here. You can go all over, or you could do a version where it's just sort of in that one little space. All right. That's it for this session. I'll see you back in the next one. Give it a save.